The Zephyrian High Council had made their decision with typical arrogance. Marcus Chen, the lone human aboard their flagship Eternal Dominion, would serve as a maintenance technician, nothing more than a glorified janitor for their war machine. After all, what could a primitive species from a backwater planet possibly contribute to the most advanced military force in the galaxy? Your kind excels at menial tasks, Commander Vexthul had sneered during Marcus's assignment briefing, his 4 eyes gleaming with condescension. Consider this an honor. Few lesser species are permitted aboard our vessels. Marcus had simply nodded, his expression neutral. He'd learned long ago that patience was humanity's greatest weapon. For 3 standard cycles, Marcus cleaned conduits, repaired minor systems, and observed. The Zephyrians, with their crystalline exoskeletons and superior technology, barely acknowledged his existence. They spoke freely around him, discussing battle strategies and weaknesses in their defenses as if he were just another piece of equipment. The humans had a saying, "The help sees everything." The Zephyrians were about to learn its meaning. When the Korath swarm struck the outer colonies, the Zephyrian fleet mobilized with their characteristic precision. Their ships moved in perfect geometric formations, their weapons fired in calculated volleys, and their tactics followed millennia of established doctrine. It should have been a routine victory. Instead, it became a massacre. The Korath had evolved. Their bioships adapted to Zephyrian energy signatures. Their swarm tactics countered the rigid formations, and their numbers seemed endless. Ship after ship fell to the writhing mass of organic destroyers, and the Eternal Dominion found itself isolated and surrounded. "Shields at 30%, the tactical officer reported, his crystalline voice cracking with stress. "All weapon systems offline," another shouted. Commander Vexthul's 4 eyes darted frantically across his displays. In all his campaigns, he'd never faced an enemy that adapted this quickly. The Korath learned from each engagement, evolving their tactics in real time while the Zephyrian responses remained locked in predictable patterns. "Sir," came a quiet voice from behind him. Vexthul turned to see the human maintenance worker standing at attention. "I have a suggestion." "What?" Vexthul's mandibles clicked in irritation. "Return to your duties, servant." "With respect, Commander, your duties aren't working." Marcus stepped forward, and something in his posture had changed. The subservient slouch was gone, replaced by a bearing that spoke of command authority. "The Korath aren't just animals, they're learning from you. Every formation you use, every tactic you employ, they adapt to counter it." "Impossible," Vexthul hissed. "Our strategies have proven successful for thousands of years against enemies that think like you do," Marcus interrupted. "The Korath don't. They think like a virus, like a flood, like entropy itself. You can't fight chaos with order. You have to fight it with controlled chaos." Another impact rocked the ship. Warning klaxons blared as secondary systems began failing. The bridge crew looked between their commander and the human with growing desperation. "You're suggesting we abandon proven tactics for the ravings of a primitive?" Vexthul demanded. Marcus's eyes hardened. "I'm suggesting you let the primitive save your lives." The ship shuddered again, and this time the lights flickered. In the moment of darkness, something seemed to shift in the power dynamics on the bridge. "Tell me," Vexthul said finally. Marcus moved to the tactical display with the confidence of someone born to command. "First, we break formation. The Korath expect geometric patterns, give them organic curves. Second, randomize your weapon frequencies every 3 seconds. Make them adapt faster than they can process. Third, use your own destroyed ships as weapons, ram them into the swarm formations." "That's chaotic," the tactical officer protested. "Exactly." Marcus began inputting commands, his fingers dancing across controls he shouldn't have known how to operate. "Chaos is what humans excel at. We evolved in chaos, we thrive in chaos, we create order from chaos. And right now chaos is your only ally." Vexthul watched in fascination and growing respect as Marcus orchestrated a battle unlike anything in Zephyrian military history. The Eternal Dominion corkscrewed through the swarm in impossible spirals, its weapons firing in seemingly random patterns that somehow always found their mark. Dead Zephyrian ships became guided missiles, their hulks tearing through Korath biovessels. Most remarkably, Marcus began coordinating with the surviving fleet elements, turning their retreat into a fluid dance of death. Where Zephyrian doctrine called for rigid hierarchy and precise formations, Marcus created a living network of ships that supported each other through instinct and adaptation. How did you know our command protocols? Bexthul asked as they watched another Korath cluster dissolve under their unconventional assault. I didn't just clean your ships, Marcus replied, never taking his eyes off the battle display. I studied them. I learned your language, your culture, your technology. Humans don't just survive. We adapt and overcome. Within 2 hours, the Korath swarm was in full retreat. The surviving Zephyrian fleet regrouped around the Eternal Dominion, their crews stunned by what they'd witnessed. Status report, Marcus called out. And every officer on the bridge responded immediately before realizing they'd just taken orders from a human. Bexthul studied Marcus for a long moment, seeing him clearly for the first time. You were never just a maintenance worker. Colonel Marcus Chen, Human Strategic Command, Marcus confirmed, finally dropping his disguise entirely. I volunteered for this assignment to learn about our new allies. I wasn't expecting to have to save them. And now, Marcus turned to face the Zephyrian commander, and in his eyes was the weight of a species that had clawed its way from the caves to the stars through sheer determination. Now, Commander, I think it's time your people learned what humans can really do when you stop calling us servants. The High Council's next transmission would promote Marcus to Fleet Admiral and place him in command of the combined Zephyrian human fleet. The servant had become the master they needed, and the galaxy would never underestimate humanity again.